welcome to Bellows Falls in Chime. This is a game that we have running during this year. It's funded by a grant program from IMLS and headed up by the Playful City Labs and American University and the Institute for Museum and Library Sciences. And it's very simple to play. You start here in front of the library. You need your cell phone, so turn your sound on. Be ready to answer your phone or check your messages, follow the links, and play the game. And we're going to do that now.
And who are we?
Who are we? We are the Bellows Falls Rotary.
Yay!
We know when to hoot.
All right, let's go. Teach us.
So, over here on this sign, you either text hello to this number or scan the code.
And should we all do it?
You can, so we can share devices if someone wants to do this now. So scan the code. It's going to want to send a text. I need my hands free. There you go, so click the yellow thing and hit send on the first text.
Oh, is someone there? Yes, I'm here. Beyond Our Walls, a project to bring neighborhood games to 20 plus cities and communities throughout public libraries.
Time is out of order and must be set right.
There we go.
Due to recent events, I suddenly found myself awake and thinking in this mysterious void. Follow the clues with me through Bellows Falls history. It's up to you to help me put history back in order and help me remember who I am. I know this village is important to me, but I don't remember why. And there's a picture, Bellows Falls around 1870, which I'm going to need to make much larger if I'm going to be helpful. I appear not to be alone here. Who is this? Text library to continue.
So, that's your first
Text it,
text back.
and I got a
text
phone.
library.
I got a phone call.
Once you get to that point. And then answer your phone.
Now I'm getting a phone call, okay.
The Rockingham Library Society was established by a small group of about 1,000 settlers from the village of Rockingham. Shares were sold at $1 each.
So
During the following decade,
Yep, you should
the
be able
library
to.
grew, and on September 6, 1887, it officially became the Rockingham Free Public Library. The library room opened in 1888 on the first floor of the newly built Opera House. In 1908, Rockingham citizens voted to purchase land on Westminster Street to provide an annual allowance for library maintenance and to accept the gift of $15,000 from the philanthropist and steel magnate Andrew Carnegie to build a library. It became one of only 4 public libraries in Vermont to be built
1908.
with Carnegie funds. On October 8, 1908, the library's cornerstone was laid before a large gathering. I remember. I was there. I'm librarian Nellie Plantier.
who was the head
A
librarian?
year
in the
later,
library
on
for
November 23, 1909, the formal dedication was held in the brand new library.
It says that was important. I'm beginning to remember.
Same thing.
On to our next destination. We're going to take a brief walk for our next encounter with history. Walk north, away from the red light at the intersection, to help you out, Ed, until you reach the park with the statue at the corner. When you get to the statue, text green to continue.
We're gang from Bellows Falls, you've heard of us, no doubt. We're just a baby club that's true, but wait till we branch out. To those who think we bite off more than we can chew, we say, you'll hear from Bellows Falls, Vermont, and Rotary someday. Oh, Rotary and tra-la-la-la-la. Oh, Rotary and we are the boys who don't have to.
I'm sure she's giving me a hint at the end.
Did you get the link?
How did she arrive in Bellows Falls after her death? Text me your answer. Tap to load preview.
Hold on. So this is one of the challenges for this game. Is that
I, Henrietta Henny Howard Robinson Green, was
there it
known as
is.
the richest woman
It's
in
a video.
America during the Gilded Age. When New York City needed help to bail them out of financial troubles, they came to me to write a check. While I have been called the Witch of Wall Street and other unfavorable nicknames, I was also known as the Queen of Wall Street, as I held my own among the likes of Russell Sage, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, and other financiers and tycoons of the day. A good businesswoman is often sharper than a good businessman. I died on July 3rd, 1916, in New York City, and 2 days later arrived in Bellows Falls by train in a private railroad car, a luxury I would not have afforded myself in life. From there, I was loaded onto a horse-drawn carriage for the solemn procession up the hill, from the station to my final resting place here, next to my husband in Bellows Falls.
She wrote back, I didn't quite get that. I believe Hetty mentioned something about a private rail car.
Train.
I got it. Train was the word we're looking for.
And if you watch the video, it's
Of
actually...
course, the
we
Bellows
filmed
Falls
it.
train station, our next destination. It's not a long walk from here. Take the stairs down to the square or walk down the street towards the square. Anyway, we know how to get there.
Right.
It gives directions. Anyway, we're headed to the train
We're
station.
going to the train.
Don't worry, Kim, we'll buy it.
Come close.
The cars have come. On Monday, January 1st, much to the astonishment of some and gratification of all, the first train of cars ever seen in this vicinity passed over the Cheshire Road and Sullivan to Charlestown number 4. The day was fine, and a great assembly of people had collected here to witness the grand entree of the Iron Horse. The engine came up in grand style, and when opposite our village, the monster gave one of its most savage yells, frightening men, women, and children considerable, and bringing forth the most deafening howls from all the dogs in the neighborhood. This day, Thursday, the Sullivan Road is to be opened with the usual ceremonies to Charlestown, and then the arrival of the cars will be a common, everyday business affair.
All right, we now need to reply with a selfie
Ooh, in front of the train station.
in front of the train station.
So well read.
And it was
So we need to
amazing.
get as many people behind me as we can.
An article about the very first train that rolled into Bellows Falls.
Where's them in? Where's them in?
Get on in.
All right, give it a shot.
So
Next
our
to the
next
diner.
stop is the Miss Bellows Falls Diner.
We're going to do the diner from here because it's not the physical location that triggers it. Okay.
Get close to listen, everyone. He doesn't have germs.
Miss Bellows Falls Diner has been the social hub of downtown since the 1940s. In early 1944, Miss Bellows Falls arrived in town, replacing a smaller diner on site. A diner is a place that's open to all, traveler, local, rich or poor, a place where good food is served in simple, convivial surroundings. Ideas and gossip are exchanged. Neighbor sees neighbor. The Miss Bellows Falls is a classic example of a World War II era diner with a porcelain enamel facade proudly proclaiming its name. But battered by the pandemic and the brutal realities of the food service business, the diner has been shuttered since early 2020. Time has taken its toll on the Miss Bellows Falls. That's why we are partnering with Preservation Trust of Vermont and diner expert Richard J.S. Gutman to bring Miss Bellows Falls back in all her glory, and we're going to save this local treasure.
Nice.
All right, here we go. So, what is on to reach other people? I wonder if there's a modern story. No? Ah, yes. Diners have been a New England fixture since my days. Looking south, I can see the clock tower from here. I almost remember who I am. Thank you, Charlie. I'm sure I'll find the answer at Town Hall. We'll go to the clock tower in text memory.
Okay.
And this is the final.
is Lyman Simpson Hayes. A Vermonter all my life, I moved to Bellows Falls in 1875 and went into business with George Babbitt, where we established a drugstore and insurance business known as Babbitt and Hayes. If you look to the south end of the square, the building is still standing at the corner. Afterwards, I wrote for the Bellows Falls Times and the Vermont Phoenix. By 1899, I was writing local history columns. In 1903, I was chosen to write the town history called The History of the Town of Rockingham, and that was published in 1907. History was my passion, and in 1907, I led a movement to preserve and restore the Rockingham Meeting House. I was very involved in many town affairs and served as town clerk from 1910 until my death in 1933. In 1916, Vermont did not have a waiting period for marriages, and with the convenient railroad connections and the increase in automobiles, Bellows Falls became the Vegas of its time, offering quick, romantic weddings. I had quite the reputation for being eager to issue marriage licenses, and in that year there were 1,030 weddings in town, but only 66 were for residents. Thank you for helping me remember.
All right.
That was nicely done.
Coffee after flat iron.
Thinking about this.